What's up, everybody? Give you guys a second to get in here. Gonna need some help from the AFA Army today. How's everybody doing? AFA Army, this is a call for action. We're gonna have a little discussion today. Wait for those notifications to go out. Normally it takes about 40 seconds and everyone all comes all in at once. Anthony, Sunshine, D News, Whackbird. Get those notifications, guys? Pissed Off Marine, News Now Lipsia. What's up, Pissed Off Marine? Chris Nelson, Jason Page, Bobby Brum. Alright, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on. I want to go over something that's been going on with me. Alright? And now we're going to have a serious talk. And the AFA Army, we need you. Okay? So, guys, let's talk about what's going on. I'm going to sit down. We're going to have a serious discussion. And you guys are going to get pissed. Real pissed. Alright? Let's have this chat. Alright, guys. Welcome. So, we know what's been going on. Anderson Police, right? Let's start at the beginning. Because if you have one isolated incident, you have one isolated incident. Two isolated incidents. Three isolated incidents. I don't think so. So, we'll go over real quickly. Young kid, Spencer Dakota Nice, officers Gravely and Reynolds respond to a call of a suspicious person and a noise complaint. They get to the call, they find Spencer, who's like 22. He's with his girlfriend, his dad, his mom, and his little sister. She's like 12. This is not the person they're looking for. However, they decide, without any probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion, they decide to detain him. Okay? Now, while he's detained, he's cuffed, he's compliant, the video's out there. He doesn't even wiggle. He's being super polite to these cops. He says to his dad, "Dad, could you grab my camera? Dad, could you grab my camera?" At this point, Officer Reynolds sneaks behind Spencer, puts him in an illegal chokehold that had been banned 2 days earlier, post all this George Floyd shit, okay? From behind, like he stalks him like he's a gazelle. And he does a hip toss, flips him over, throws him on the ground. The kid's got some minor nerve damage. News New England Raid, what's up, brother? He's got marks all over his neck. Now, this video is released on his social media. We pick up the page, okay? We pick up the story. This thing starts going viral. We go down to the police station to file a complaint. When we file the complaint, some city worker, she works with kids, she winds up assaulting us. So, listen, we go home, and I find out that they're trying to pick up charges against me. Now, we put her under citizen's arrest because you got 8 camera angles with this woman assaulting me for filming in a public parking lot. We file a complaint. The crime scene tech comes out there, and they give us a complaint number. They wind up using my information so they could charge me, right? So they try to get me extradited. The extradition doesn't happen. I come back. I turn myself in. I'm dealing with it. So that's number one. CNN comes knocking on these people's doors. They get shaken up. That's incident number one, right? Well, what happens? Gravely and Reynolds, I uncover that Reynolds and Gravely, the two officers that did this, are in a relationship. That's right, guys. Smash that like button. I'm not even going to continue with this story about the new evidence that we got and the new stuff going on here in Anderson, Indiana, until you make that like button. There's 201 people watching, only 45 likes. Let's get it up to 100 fast. So, now, Gravely, the girlfriend, sees her partner, Officer Reynolds, beating this man. Why doesn't she do anything? She can't defend the citizens and the Constitution because she's more concerned with, even deeper than backing the blue line, she's backing the BF line, the boyfriend line. So she lets him get beat. Now, they both go on paid leave. Now, there was just a town meeting in Anderson. The chief of police is very public, assistant chief of police is very public about this guy's going to lose his job. He is on unpaid leave. Now he's suspended without pay. Go to Walmart, start handing out a couple pairs of tube socks. Get your bank account up, dickhead. So Gravely is just let go. She's just as guilty because she watches it happen, and he has a termination hearing coming up. Bad cop, right? Let's talk about Officer Tyree Wilson. Now, the incident that happened with me, when I reported being a victim of a crime, they charged me and set out a warrant the very next day. Let's talk about Officer Tyree Wilson. He's been a police officer since 2019 in the great city of Anderson, Indiana. He's patrolling your streets. Anthony M., thank you. And guys, please, and here's the other thing. My travel has been affected. So now Indiana, because of the terms of bond, right? I was released on personal recognizance. They wanted to try and hold me as like a flight risk. Part of those terms of release are travel permits, right? Since the courts are closed, I have to wait and get all this done. So instead of being here a week to take care of this, I've now been here almost 3 weeks, and I have to stay indefinitely to figure this out. So I need you guys' help. If the mods could post the PayPal link, I would appreciate that. PayPal.me/accountability for all. I paid a private attorney. We're handling this head on, but I need your help because I'm going to continue to stay here. I'm going to continue to fight this because I'm fighting for me. I'm fighting for us. So I need your help. PayPal.me/accountability for all. Again, that is PayPal.me/accountability for all. If you guys could help, anything helps, because a week trip that was supposed to be less than a week to take care of my innocence, right? I wound up getting retaliated against the police. They have a warrant that's not extraditable. They try and have Massachusetts pick me up. Massachusetts lets me go to come all the way back here. Thank you, Mid-Ohio. Thank you, Flynn Frank. And what happens when we break this story? Let me tell you something. Officer Reynolds. Now, Dakota Nice was pursued for a hit and run months and months and months ago. They had not continued to pursue it, right? The day that this officer is put on unpaid leave, he's charged again with this hit and run. And the Anderson Fraternal Order of Police releases a public Facebook post saying, "We will get vindication for Officer Reynolds. He is a good officer." So not only did you come after me and try and kidnap me from across the country and have Massachusetts help you and retaliate against me because we're exposing and we're putting some transparency on you, you charge him with a crime the very same day that this shitbag is getting suspended. All right, you want to suspend us, we'll arrest you. Now, you guys should feel safe because you have Officer Tyree Wilson, graduating class of late 2018, serving and protecting and defending the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And you know how he's doing that? Drunk. That's right. Driving a police cruiser, blowing a .84. .084. With a firearm. Now, when these guys are sober, they are beating citizens. It's like when the cops decide if they want to beat you in Anderson, they basically listen to that Michael Jackson song, "It Doesn't Matter If You're Black or White." They'll just beat the shit out of you anyways, just cuz. They might be bored that day. But when they're not drunk or inebriated, they're out there filing false charges, kidnapping citizens, swindling the city. Now they decided, well, we can get away with doing this sober. Why not take a shot at it shit-faced? Guy's driving around in a patrol vehicle and he's arrested for a Class C misdemeanor. Now, like I said, my charges were filed the same day when I was a victim exposing corruption. This has been almost 2 weeks, and Officer Tyree Wilson is still not processed in my case. His charges are still not processed. You can see the state of Indiana v. Josh Abrams. You cannot see We the People versus Tyree Wilson just yet. They have to figure out how they're going to hide this. Sheriff Mellinger, thank you, Prime M. Sheriff Mellinger, I asked him in one of my videos, I said, "Heard you marched with Black Lives Matter?" And all. He says, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't do that." Thank you so much, Christine. He says, "No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that." Weird. I asked a question I already knew the answer to. Thank you, Brian Papa. I knew that he had marched with them. Hell, it made it on the front page of the goddamn paper. He thinks you are so stupid that he will say, there's the picture of me marching with Black Lives Matter, but I'm just going to say I didn't do it. My name's Scott Mellinger, and I like to eat poop and lie to people. Like, this is Tyree Wilson. Let's talk about the fucking deficiency of law enforcement in the ungreat state of Indiana, because that's what it is now. And I apologize to we the people, right, that live in the once great state of Indiana, but you people are running fucking rampant. Your law enforcement is running fucking rampant. Beating people, kidnapping citizens off the street. How many times I have had to say, have you learned nothing from George Floyd? We're taking these guys off the fucking streets and we're risking our arrest over it, and I don't much care, right? Spencer Dakota Nice, targeted, arrested. AFA, targeted, arrested. Mike Strauss, East Chicago Police Department, Officer Cook, what a moron. Patrolman third class, salary of $59,000. You're paying him $59,000 a year. We called the police. We asked to get a complaint for him. Officer Cook responds, and we say, hey man, you got a headlight out. And then he gets out of the car and tells us that while he's on private property, that we have to leave private property while the private property owner is not there trespassing us. So this guy says, if you put your hands on me, then I'll punch you in the face. It is not a crime to say, if you do this, I will do this. Especially Indiana is a stand your ground state. If the police come up on your door without a warrant, you can do what you want. Stand your ground state. They throw him on the ground. Okay? Now, this guy, Cook, in East Chicago Police Department in Indiana, has no idea what he's doing. He's had the only physical competition he's had is trying to wrestle shit out of his asshole when he's in a public bathroom. That's the extent to the fucking the physical entrapment he's at, right? So he doesn't do a proper takedown. He's got his leg in between Mike Strauss's legs. So they love putting knees on necks. It's like the thing to do. Let's kill people. Yay, we're Indiana cops. So another cop comes from behind and he puts his knee down on Mike Strauss's leg. What they don't know is he's running for Congress. What they don't know is that we have big fucking channels. And what they don't know is we love exposing bad cops. So when they put their knee on his leg, the officer's leg gets scrunched up in between. It gets twisted in between. And he goes, and Mike goes, why are you arresting me? The cop goes, ow, my leg, my leg. Now his own buddies are the one hurting his leg. So they jump off his leg and he goes, again, sir, why am I being arrested? Boom, punches him in the face. Now he says he was doing a brachial stun. A brachial stun is open-handed to the back of the neck to cause immediate and temporary paralysis, right? So that way you can become more compliant. It is okay to beat you as long as your hands are placed in a certain way, you know? Wah! Don't think so, bitches. Closed fist to the fucking back of the head. That is not a brachial stun. It doesn't touch your nerves, okay? His head smashes off the ground. White cop hurts black guy, nation uprises. Black cop hurts white guy, no one does a goddamn fucking thing. So we get him released. This is picked up by the major Chicago papers, thank you. Major Chicago papers, and it's now a big fucking deal. Done. Hey, Brandon Brooks. I'm talking to you, Officer Brooks, at the West Lafayette Police Department. You're in oh, by the way, Cook, right now, admin leave. Internal investigation. Get that like button up to 200. Let's go. Officer Brooke, West Lafayette Police Department. You silly little bitch. I'm talking to you, you little motherfucker. You're so racist. It's so cute. News Now Omaha. Standing on a public sidewalk. Got a ski mask on. Now the governor's order specifies that you wear a cloth mask. He is wearing a cloth mask. He's crawling on the ground. Crawling is suspicious. Listen, everyone watching this fucking live stream and everyone in the United States, besides people that are handicapped, they only walk because they fucking crawled first. So if you're walking, that means you crawled, which means you are also suspicious. Officer Cook, stop being suspicious. Guns drawn, not detained. They arrest him. Thank you, Eduardo. Arrest him for trespassing? On a sidewalk? I don't think so. So they come, he's compliant, they almost spike his spine through an iron gate fence, and they arrest him for trespassing and assault on a police officer and resisting arrest. You cannot resist an... Let's get there in a second. Guys, please, I'm stuck here because of this. I need your help. PayPal. PayPal.me/accountability for all. They want to try and hold me here. I'll stay here every second. Hotels cost money, okay? And I am out here a week trip, less than a week trips, turns into 3 weeks and almost going on a month. That's fine. I'll stay. Sheriff Mellinger invited me back to Indiana. He sent me a postcard and it said warrant on the top. And here I am. Sorry, Sheriff. I bet you regret that now. So now this cop, right? What is Omaha charged with? When he's released, he's charged with resisting arrest, a secondary charge. Before a secondary charge must be a primary charge. They didn't charge him with anything else. Here's why. There were live cameras going around the entire thing. They saw this cop fucked up and they said to themselves, we already have him in cuffs. We can't make ourselves look bad by letting an innocent man go free. That would be silly. So let's just charge him with resisting arrest. We'll charge him with nothing else. And then when the court sees that he's only charged with a secondary charge, they will have to drop it and everyone walks away. We can all save face. I was right next to Floyd, also with a camera, and they tried to rescue me to safety. That's because I'm white. And thank God if you're white in the great state of Indiana, the police might not beat you as much. I said as much. Remember the Dakota Nice incident. And now you have Officer Tyree Wilson. Like I said, when they're sober, they beat the shit out of you. So they one up themselves. They said, we can beat you when we're sober. Why don't we figure out how to fuck shit up when we're drunk? That sounds like a lot of fun. Tyree Wilson gets shit-faced the night before. He goes out and gets hammered fucking drunk. He goes out, he parties, probably has a good time with his boyfriend. And then he says, look at this badge. This is a nice badge. I like this badge. I got like a blue line and all sorts of cool shit. Let me put on my badge and my bulletproof vest, okay? Let me put on my 30-pound utility belt with my taser and my clips and my handcuffs and my nightstick and my flashlight and my mags and my gun. He snapped that on and fastened it real nice. Oh, forgot my pants because I'm shit-faced. Let me put my pants on. I put my pants on now. Tyree Wilson goes out, gets in his city vehicle. Well, I don't know this for me. He might have drove his personal vehicle, but some of these cops take their city vehicles home. So either way, he gets into a city vehicle or a personal vehicle and drives to work shit-faced. Monroe Goose, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mongoose. Thank you, Mongoose. He goes to work. Now, it's not like he's going to the deli to give you a quarter pound of Land O'Lakes. This asshole's going to the police station where he works. He might want to see Officer Gravely, the girlfriend of Officer Reynolds, who's back on duty. It's okay as long as you watch someone beat someone and you don't do anything about it. As long as you're not hitting anybody, shh. So, he walks in. I'm walking right now. Hi, guys. My name is Officer Brandon Brooks. Wait, no, that's the other stupid cop. I forgot my name because I'm drunk. My name is Officer Tyree Wilson of the Anderson Police Department. It's time to go to work and fight crime. I got my gun. Oh shit, never mind. This is a flashlight. I thought it was a microphone. Maybe do like some karaoke. I can beat citizens, doesn't matter if they're black or white. And then he gets in his patrol vehicle, shit-faced, with a taser, with clips, with a bulletproof vest. He's basically a vigilante that's drunk. And he's only been on the streets for less than a year. Great job, Anderson Police Department. Where's all the complaints that get filed that you guys let go missing? Crazy. There's like 70 complaints that people filed and have receipts for, whether it's in paper or it's on the phone. And then you go to the city attorney's office and it's like, wait, where did all the complaints go? I know where they went. You probably let Officer Tyree Wilson deal with them. And he lost them because he's drunk. Officer Tyree Wilson, where did all the complaints go? My canine dog ate him thinking it was an unarmed man's neck. Fucking moron. Get the fuck out of here. So, Tyree Wilson gets paid administrative leave, and he's charged with,
His dad was crippled.
Now, Officer Tyree Wilson, his dad and his granddaddy also work for the police department. I don't know what the fuck's going on with all the inbreeding, but if this moron's stupid enough to go to work drunk, I wonder what's going on with the rest of them. Charged with a C misdemeanor. I'm charged the next day for being a victim and exposing police corruption. 2 weeks later, he's still not in the system. You can go to my case in Indiana, look up his name, Tyray, last name, regular spelling, Wilson. Now, he got caught by other cops. One cop said something. I've taken you guys cop watching around this city. Smash that like button, get it to 200 now. I'm not even going on. One cop. He was able to walk through a public parking lot into a police station filled with police officers, check in, make it through fucking roll call, then get in his car and then go drive through the streets of Anderson before one cop detected an odor of alcohol. Now, they're either protecting the Blue Line Gang and they don't want to tell on one of their brothers, or they're not trained. They're so poorly fucking trained, they can't see a drunk driver. I mean, that's a great mask. If you're drunk driving, just wear a badge and a gun. Apparently, you get away with it in Anderson. Just saying. Now, he's lost his driver's license, I would assume. But here's the thing. You're paying him. I always said in school, if the principal said, you're on an at-home suspension, we're like, oh my God, no, the punishment in it. This is so bad. You mean I have to not go to school? Oh, shucks. What did I do again? I'll just repeat that. Let's do this in-home suspension thing. You're now just paying him to stay home and get drunk. He just doesn't have to go out of his way to violate people's rights. So we're here, okay? And you're right, the only difference is when I'm home from school, I'm not getting paid by the city. The next day, he blew a .084. He was over the legal limit the next fucking day. This is a problem. This is not just a problem, it's a disease. It is the disease of dis-ease. And I'm down here and I got people threatening my life. Happened in Chuck Bronson's life. Tell Josh, I'll go find you. I'll go find him. I'm gonna whip his ass as soon as I'm done fucking my cousin. I'm on a live stream for 5.5 hours. My location is literally all over the place. I'm at some places for 20 to 30 minutes. No one comes to whip my ass. If you guys didn't watch News Now 702's live stream, some dude was beating up on his girl, and I answered the door in boxer shorts. And I went out there and told him to get bent, and if I had to get up out of my bed again, he was going to have a serious problem. People putting prices on my head. Anyone who beats up Accountability for All, give him $100 just after I'm done having sex with my cousin. Leave our small town. You know what I say to every single person that tells me to leave? I tell them, you know what? I was just at the airport. I'm in Indianapolis airport right now. I'm just boarding a plane to go back to Boston. But thank you for this message. I'm actually going to stay here now indefinitely. And by the way, please donate to my PayPal. Fuck that. You can walk away. If you see something and you don't do anything about it, you're just like Gravely. She saw something. She did nothing about it. And that made her criminally negligent. It made her complicit. You gotta start turning the tables. Cops think they can follow you. How do you think the cops like it when we follow them? They don't. Weird. They hide in bushes. They're sneaky. They're surreptitious. They're clandestine. Hiding in bushes. But you got a man wearing a mask, per the governor's mandate, filming from a public sidewalk, and he has AR-15s and he's drawn at gunpoint, and you got the deputy. He's got both his hands up with a camera in one hand. The deputy's saying, "Drop your camera. Deputy B. Knapp of Clinton County says, drop your camera. You might make me look heavier than I actually am." It's not that bad, B. Knapp. And you got a bunch of racists across the street practically demanding that this guy gets lynched in the public corner. Shit's gotta end, people. And you got people coming in here that have just had a fucking enough of it. 2 weeks. Chuck Bronson's video is about to hit 1 million. 2 fucking weeks. That says something. I have 2 videos at 1 million. That says something. People are sick of this shit. Now I have no choice. I have to stay here for the current immediate moment in time to fight this. So I need the AFA Army. Alright? Hey, Bill has rights. I need the AFA Army. I need your help. Last time I asked you guys to send PayPal, it was to get it was to get Omaha out of jail. We raised it in 18 minutes. He bailed himself out because he thought we the people wouldn't be there for him. He didn't know us. We the people were there. With 1,000 people watching. We the people are always going to be here. Whether it's granddad, dad, son, mom, sister, brother, cousin. These police, they're going to be inducted. They're going to retire. They're going to quit. They're going to get fired. One thing in this country stays consistent. We the people. That will never change. Just like our rights are inalienable, so are we. We will not be deterred. I need your help. It's not for bail at the current moment. Who knows when they'll charge me with some other bullshit crime. Omaha's phone was grabbed and thrown in police presence. The woman was arrested and released immediately. No charges filed. Apparently criminal mischief is okay as long as you're licking boots. And Karen was licking the fuck out of them boots that day. Listen, Linda. Have no fear. Karen is here. We the people versus we the Karens. So help me out, please. I need it. PayPal.me/accountability for all. Mods post the link. You can click on that link. Anything helps. And if you can't support financially, thank you, Omaha. If you can't support financially, then support by sharing a video. I have a video on my personal Facebook. I never go live on Facebook. There was a shooting yesterday. Now, the suspect got out of a green car and fled. He was a black male with short dreads, tracksuit with stripes. We responded to the call where they believed they had the suspect. He fit a description. Now this man, the other suspect was alone. Green car, short dreads, tracksuit with stripes. This man was with his mom, his girlfriend, his friend, and another female, okay? He did not have on a tracksuit. He did not have on stripes. He had long dreads. And he was pulled out and detained. Now, the only thing he shared in common with the first suspect was one thing. They were both black. He was not detained. However, he was still not free to go. And that doesn't make sense to me. Because if I'm not detained, I'm free to go. And if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay. And I will go or stay wherever the fuck I please in this country. Most people think the Fourth Amendment is, guarantees your right to be secure from illegal search and seizure. You have the right to be secure in your papers, your persons, and your effects. What that means, in essence, is this is not North Korea. This is not Nazi Germany. Stay the fuck away from me unless you have RAS or PC. But the Fourth Amendment right also gives you the right to travel, and to travel without that progress being impeded. You have the right of free travel. No one can stop you from going anywhere. There's another amendment that we don't talk about much. Oh, Mrs. Bronson and Chuck, thank you so much. There's another amendment we don't talk about, and we should talk about it more. The right to be free from involuntary slavery and servitude. If you're telling me that I am not free, you're telling me you're violating my Fourth Amendment right, and you're saying that I am not free. If I am not free, I must be enslaved. And I also have the right to be free from involuntary slavery and servitude. If I have to stay in one place because the government tells me to, and they tell me what I have to do, when I have to do it, and how I go about doing it in a free fucking country, how can you say free country and then tell me the parameters of that freedom? Freedom does not have parameters. It does not have guidelines. It's being free. I can't deal with that. Gavin Syme, he's probably the godfather, one of the godfathers of this movement. He went to another fucking country, and most people gave him shit. They said, Gavin, you're running away. He went to Mexico and claimed political asylum. The only auditor and activist right now to do so. And what is he doing? He's doing there the same thing he did here, only with much more dangerous consequences. Sounds weird? Not to me, it sounds fucking familiar. When we went from England to here, and it didn't work for us, we left, came here, we gained freedom. At what cost? There is a cost. Freedom has no parameters, but it is also not free. It's an inalienable right that you are born with. In this country, under citizenship, or under God if you prefer. That's your First Amendment right. But you have to fight for it. They are your rights. And if you don't use them, you lose them. And it's a fight every day. From something as simple as people saying, oh, well, Floyd deserves to be arrested. He was crawling on the ground, and he had a mask on, and he had a camera, and he was, he kept going like this. Okay? You might not agree with the methods, but how more so can you agree with the madness of what they're doing? Ultimately, there is no law against it. So let's talk about it. He has a mask on? The governor wrote a fucking mandate stating you have to wear a mask. No one else had a mask. The cops did not have masks. So the first criminal unseen, the police. He was crawling on the ground. Can you please look up the statute, the Supreme Court ruling, the case law that says I am not free to crawl? I can walk on my hands and knees with my head twisted around my back like the goddamn exorcist if I can figure out how the fuck to do it. He filmed. He exercised the building block of American freedom. And he said something that I hadn't said in a long time. When they started asking him questions, he said, well, I don't answer questions. And that was the problem. With a mask, I got on my knees and I started filming. Thank you, Peter. We got a real big bridge here. And like I've said before, every bridge was crossed, starting with one small step. But we took that first step nearly 300 years ago. I mean, look what they were able to do in the 50s. I mean, in a matter of 15 years, we had made it into space. We had nuclear weapons. We had reindustrialized our industrial position in the world. We had made crazy economic growth. We had made strides in civil liberties, civil rights, and civil justice. In 20 fucking years, we changed the world. But we haven't been able to take more than that first fucking step in almost 300. Square Deal taught, yeah, most cops go for their guns when they have a perfectly good taser right there. Some hide it behind their backs. Where do you see that video? It ain't gonna change. Thank you, Peter. This is not gonna change. I'm one man. Chuck Bronson is one man. Hoosier News is one man. News New England is one man. Gavin Simon is one man. Joshua Martinez is one man. James Freeman is one man. Eric Brandt is one man. Johnny 5-0 is one man. Those who came before me, those who will come after me, are all one man. But behind every man comes an ideology. We aren't just people with personalities. We are a representation of what we were, what we are, and what we can be. Just like that flag. Gaining a new star every step of the way. Thank you, News Now, Lipsia. Let's have a movement. You know, I've said from the beginning that I am nothing in this without you guys. I'm the smallest voice of this channel. I am only one voice. There are 52,999 other voices behind me. Behind Furry Potato. Behind News Now California. Behind San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Behind News Now 702. We are just the megaphone for freedom. We are just the audio source for the people. And I'll tell you one thing. If someone in a costume with weapons that wants to take your rights, is all that it takes for us to sit back and say, fuck it. We can make long ways as long as we pick up the pace and get our weight up. I was homeless living under bridges shooting drugs. Now I'm out here doing this. It's very cliche when someone says, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm sure that's what the police say. You just beat a citizen that was unarmed. Well, if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you, Twyla. Literally, if I can do it, you can do it. I understand that sometimes you might not want to get involved because in being involved could be dangerous. It could be physically dangerous. It could be fiscally dangerous. You know, you could lose your job. You could lose your freedom. The most important quote I have ever heard is, when you sacrifice liberty for security, you deserve neither liberty nor security. When you give up your rights that are guaranteed to you by this Constitution for a privilege, you have now just converted your rights into privileges. You have now just given them consent. That can't happen. You don't say it is okay to search my vehicle because I'm going to be late to work. You have no probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion to ID me, but you're a man with a badge. Here is my identification. You're not taking away rights. You're giving away rights. We have control. Just take it back. See, our founding fathers foresaw this. They foresaw the bullshit that was going to happen. Okay? Sorry, that's just someone else is here with me. They foresaw what was going to happen. So they started building this Constitution saying, look where the fuck we came from. What's up, AP? Look where the fuck we came from. We were born from tyranny. With every new government is preceded by an old government. It's not impossible. We're not recreating and reinventing the fucking wheel. We're preserving freedom. And the fact that we have to work so hard at it is disgusting. But the fact that they think we won't work at it is even more disgusting. Someone said there should be an uprising every 20 years so that the people maintain the spirit of resistance. Revolution. People maintain the spirit of resistance. Civil War. People maintain the spirit of resistance. First and Second World War. The people maintained the spirit of resistance. Operation Enduring Freedom. Maintained resistance. Through all our wars, we've maintained resistance. The towers fell. My God, I couldn't cross a goddamn street in New York fucking City without someone trying to run me over and stuff me up the ass of their tailpipe. Those towers went down and people let you go. That's because the government ain't out there letting you go. The police aren't out there waving you through. The same as when we go to these protests nationwide. It's not the police making sure we don't get hit by traffic. It's we the people. We have maintained, thank you Texas Hoosier, we have maintained our spirit of resistance. It ain't been every 20 years, it's been a lot longer than that, but we have maintained. And we will always maintain. Whether you're from the US, European, Africa, Asia, whatever continent you fucking come from. The flag is a symbol. Every place has a flag with different pictures on it. It is a symbol of what this country, our country, and your country represents. You want to know one good thing about living under a sovereign? Okay? Inheritance. When you're born under a king, a queen, you get inheritance. We have inherited something indelible. And that is resistance. We only lose when we stop fighting. You only lose the wars you don't fight. And you only regret the chances you don't take. It got to a point in 1775. It didn't work out all at once. Okay? Thank you, John. It's not like, Washington and Jefferson and Adams strolled in to the Continental Congress and said, hey guys, there's 13 colonies here. And we think it's a good idea, without training and without arms, to take on King George. By the way, he's batshit crazy. And everyone was like, yay, let's do it. Where's Ben Franklin? He's with a whore right now. That's not how that worked. It took socializing, right? It took hard work. And it took other people to see. Georgia, New Jersey, it took Pennsylvania. It took other people to see. Look what's happening in Boston. Look what's happening. We didn't want to do anything about it. But look what's happening there. And if it's happening there, it can most certainly happen here. And then they get another delegate, and another delegate, and another delegate. And then the king starts noticing there's something wrong. So he says, I know you, Franklin. Get on over here, old buddy. Let's talk about it. You were at my coronation. Let's figure this out. I'm my ambassador, after all. And like many times before, the people would storm the gates of the governor. The governor would give them some remedial present. They'd buy them a beer party, and then they'd just walk away. Less taxes. We created our birthright. The only thing that's left of sovereigntism is our birthright as American fucking people. And one day, we showed up at the governor's mansion, and he walked the fuck out. And I was proud to be in Boston with 24,000 people live. Not in my stream, but walking the streets. I could feel the thump of the cobblestone. My heart was racing in a way that it had never raced before. What's up, Watching the Watchmen? And I didn't know what that feeling was. And I saw people that aren't normally on the side of auditors or activists, nurses, doctors, lawyers, poor people, rich people, leaving the hospitals, cheering us on. I said to myself, what the fuck am I feeling inside me? And I realized that many people, the last time that many people had marched those streets was when they were chasing the British out of them. It had been done once. It had been done twice because we maintained the spirit of resistance. There is one country left that maintains absolute monarchy, meaning that it's not a situational monarchy, okay? It means the sovereign controls absolute government power. He can say, hang that person in the square, and they will. It's called Swaziland, Africa, King Mswati. They don't have political parties. They have one political party, the sovereign. And he don't even think he's under God, right? What's keeping us from going there? The difference between them and us is they don't have a choice. Their life is predicated on disposition. Their life is predicated on what they are told to do. So they don't have to make a choice. But what predicates an action is a choice. We still have the choice, unless we give it back to them. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I don't know about you, but to me that is freedom. And there is no cost too high that I am willing to pay to maintain that freedom for me, myself, and my posterity. We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, do ordain for this Constitution. For who? Who the fuck are we doing it for? For ourselves and our posterity. Our kids. Our lineage. Our legacy. I don't care if you're living under a fucking bridge, because I've been there, or you're living at the top of Beverly Hills in the most expensive mansion they got. We all got a legacy. Life ain't about the destination. Doesn't matter where you wind up. It's about the twists and turns that you take along the way. The lessons learned, the people met, the laughs gained, and the loves lost. That is what makes you American. That is what makes you Asian. That's what makes you English. That's what makes you people. Don't ever stop laughing. Don't ever stop loving. And don't ever stop fighting. The very first Constitution ever was born here in the United States by men that were afraid, by men that were outnumbered, by men that were outarmed, by men that were outeducated. We took our guns back. That shot is still heard across the world. There's two things that only survive by being fed. And that is trolls and the flame of freedom. I've made a shit ton of mistakes along the way. And I've tried to own up to them. Okay? And for a long time, I got kind of lost in this. Okay? I got kind of lost in the glitz and the glam and the paychecks and the views. And I walked down that street of Boston. And I saw a people that were fed up. The Constitution allowed them two options. It allowed them to take over by the ballots or to take over on the streets. Government wasn't hearing it. The streets heard it loud and clear. The government was reminded a valuable lesson that day, and every day since, in Portland right now, that there is one controlling factor. Don't you forget where you came from. And if you're not from the U.S. and you say, well, this is happening in America, this doesn't matter to me, go back to that very first Continental Congress where 12 other colonies said, not my problem, this ain't in my neck of the woods. Sometimes we take preventative measures to make sure it never gets to your neck of the woods. This is a we the people problem. And I didn't say we the American people, I said we the people. We the human race. Some people say Black Lives Matter. Some people say White Lives Matter. I say Blue Lives Murder. I don't want you behind me. Okay, people say all the time, Josh, I'm behind you. I don't want you behind me. I want you right next to me. Because what we forget sometimes, because we are all human, is that we are nothing without you. We will remain nothing without you. I will maintain my spirit of resistance. I just ask that you maintain yours. You know, I don't like Liberty Bird. It's fucking plainly clear I don't like Liberty Bird. In fact, I hate Liberty Bird. But he was kidnapped off the streets for conducting a constitutionally protected activity. He was compliant with his captors. Now, the Third Amendment guarantees the right that you don't have to quarter with troops in a time of peace. But he's captured off the streets. He's stripped down, he's put in a spit mask, and he's laid naked on the floor for telling the government that he was going to maintain his spirit of resistance. Eric Brandt locked him up. Now they want to revoke his bail because he's maintained his spirit of resistance. Is he hiding? No. He's making phone calls to the West Lafayette Police Department when Omaha cop block is kidnapped off the streets. Johnny 5-0, arrested. Extra good citizen, arrested. AV Watchman, arrested. Gavin Syme, political asylum. Hoosier News Now, arrested. You can go into any town almost across this country and see a plaque with the names of law enforcement officers that have made the ultimate sacrifice. What about the activists that have made the ultimate sacrifice? Those who have had the opportunity to sacrifice their liberty for security and denied. They said, when you convert my rights into privileges, well, if I give you my rights, you have now converted my right into a privilege. Joshua Martinez, kidnapped off the street. I am no different than any of you watching this. I am not one of the OGs in this. I mean, I'm one of the OGs in the sense that the turnover rate for us is so quick because they kidnap us off the fucking street. So 9 months into this, at 11 million something views, I'm considered one of the veterans. Okay, but I am not one of the best. I'm not even in that league. I'll give you a brief list of who that league is. And they make sure those voices are not normally heard. Eric Brandt is a goddamn legend. 8,000 subs. Joshua Martinez is the Rain Man of the Constitution and case law. 8,000 subs. Gavin Syme. Joshua Martinez. Amagansett Press. Eric Brandt. San Joaquin Valley. John Phelix, Johnny 5-0, James Freeman. That's the major leagues. That's the major leagues. I'm still in Pony League trying to get called up to the minors. But I'm still willing to fight. And I'm never going to lose that fire. So I'll tell you something. When I picked up my camera for the very first time, I felt that fire. I felt that fire again in Chicago, when the phones went off the hook and I had to run back and forth to catch all the phone calls. And in Boston, when I marched those streets. I know you think it's not possible. I know you think it's not possible. But we did it once. With less education, less arms, less finances, and less support, with less technology. I'm not telling you to go loot stores. I don't want you to, there's no freedom in raiding a mom and pop's drugstore, trying to take the till for the day. What I'm asking you for is to simply stand up. Here's a challenge, and I'm going to do it with you. Next time you go out and you see something wrong, whether it's government or whether it's just a personal squabble with your neighbors, I would just ask you to speak up. This is not the Little Mermaid. Ursula is not here to steal our voice. Say something. Anything. Because when Furry Potato did take a bullet. When you say something, you are no longer silenced. Watch this. Fuck the police. I just took their power away. I don't need guns to do it. I shoot frames per second, not bullets. And I'll capture everyone that I can. With one stipulation. You guys join this community. You guys stand behind me. Oh, just kidding. You guys stand next to me. We do this together. If I don't like Liberty Bird, or I don't like M Against the Press, or if I don't like Extra Good Citizen, or No Name, or whoever, that doesn't mean you don't watch them. That means I have personal, right? I didn't like Peachy Rider. When she got arrested, I went live immediately. Watch everybody. Take little bits of what you see. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. They say, take something that works for you, leave the rest, go to another meeting, do the same thing. Build those building blocks. This country was founded on building blocks. Make your own constitution of life. Take something you see from me. Take something you see from Amagansett Press. Take something you see from James Freeman. And just say something. And if you see something, film something. I'm going to be stuck here while I fight the ungreat state of Indiana for violating my Fourth Amendment right to travel and infallibly instituting me into my involuntary slavery and servitude. If you can help out financially, my link is paypal.me/accountability4all. It's supposed to be like a 4 or 5 day trip. Been here for 3 weeks, still fighting to get home. You want to help me out, that's fine. What helps out more is you guys sharing, thanks to HBO Matt, Illuminati Light Shadow King. What helps more is you sharing these videos and subscribing to every activist, auditor, outspoken person, regular American. You subscribe to all those channels. Because when you do, you're putting one extra camera on them. You're giving them one extra layer of transparency. We simply outnumber them. The government of the people, for the people, and by the people shall not perish from the earth. The tree of liberty has to be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. I've seen too many patriots go down. Let's water the fuck out of that tyrant grass. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to an auditor. Exactly. AP. Start a conversation and you're making a difference. I appreciate all you guys, all the people walking with us, all the people sharing our videos, all the people that do not call these police stations and jails, all the other auditors out there that are sacrificing their liberty to maintain your security. Thank you, Mongoose. For all the people that put up a camera before me, that are putting up a camera at the same time as me, and long after I'm gone, will be continuing to exercise their right to redress their grievances, their right to free assembly, their right to free press, their right to free religion. What prefaces all those rights? One word: free. Keep it that way. I love all you guys. And that's the reason I stopped you today. See you next time. And, for all the ones that I watched before I did this, we make mistakes. We call each other out on these mistakes. Once we call each other out, it is up to us to make a difference. In some things in my life, I've heard those calls, I've made a difference. In other things, I'm human and I didn't. But right now, this is a call to arms. Now let the government take that as me calling for people to rise up and start shooting. It's a call to arms for free people to maintain a free world. It's all about free. However, it's all about how we maintain it when we get there. So special thanks to those who put out the videos for me to watch to get to where I am. James Freeman, Eric Brandt, Joshua Martinez, Immigrants Press, John Phelaks, especially Gavin Syme. That's what gave me the right? Gave me the right to do what I'm doing. Because I hadn't converted any privileges. Cop told me I needed ID. And I said, no, you don't. My journey started in Wakefield, Massachusetts, with Sergeant John Burnham, badge number 75. And if the police don't like what I'm doing, don't arrest me. Call him. It always takes a tyrant to create a freedom fighter. Stand up, fight back. Don't back down. Reason I stopped you today. Stay safe, stay free. We love y'all. Close it out. You were born with the right. You have only been made aware of them like all of us have. Study. Gavin Syme started a revolution. The song I want you to listen to, okay? It's Tracy Chapman. It's called Revolution. And I'll tell you one thing. I went from drugs, homeless, living under bridges, to being able at any point in time to pick up a phone and press a record button and have anywhere from 100 to 1,000. I think the most I topped out at was 1.4. Pass the message on. Love you guys. Thank you.